friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. Going to have a little play along. I think I've got 6 songs picked out that I think are, good exercise type songs to play along with. Not too complicated, but they're not super simple either. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. For the regular vloggers, I will tell you that progress has been made. For the that it has nothing to do with tonight's playing, you understand. It's progress on some of the things I've been doing over the last couple of days. Progress has been made. You'll see that in tomorrow's vlog. This first song we're going to do is GCD, and it's pretty much a circle song like that. I think it does go 1-4-5 pretty much in a circle most of the way through the song, if I remember correctly. I don't think there's any 2 chords in it or anything like that. It's just very simple. It's a song I wrote. Usually I have a story of why I wrote a song and all that. I don't on this one. I just wrote it. I don't know why I wrote it, to be honest with you. It's called If I Could Drive Through Your Mind, and it goes like this in GCD. Lately there's signs upon your face, match the signs on the road I take. Slow down, don't turn left, dead in the head. And the caution light is lit as we head for the last exit. But I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. Would the road be rough or paved? Could your love for me be saved? A highway or gravel road, either way it's the same old load. And I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. Each day on the interstate, as I'm pulling my load of freight, I think of you with each passing sign I see. And the road ahead looks rough, the going'll sure be tough. Wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. Would the road be rough or paved? Could your love for me be saved? A highway or gravel road, either way it's the same old load. And I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. Oh, I wonder what I'd find if I could drive through your mind. There you go. Nice, simple little song. Have no idea why I wrote that. I don't even like cars and trucks and stuff that much. Anyway, that's the first one. The second one is we're going to do this in the key of D, dog. And I heard it from Tony Rice. He did this song. It's called A Good Woman's Love. Now, Tony Rice does it in a unique style and kind of, I wouldn't say breaks time, but he makes it difficult to stay with him. And he does it on purpose, and he does it every time through the song. And I used to do it that way, but I got tired of trying to explain it to everybody. So now I just do it straight, and just kind of like any song, it's just straight. I just do it in straight time. There's nothing going to be real weird about this. Now let me tell you the chords. It's going to be 1-4-5, so it'll be D dog. We're in D, so D is 1, G is 4, A is 5. There's also a B minor, which is your 6 minor. So you got 4, 5, 6. See, it's just that simple. It's just 4, 5, 6. So G, A, and then B minor. And let me see. I think that's it. I don't think there's any other chords in it. I think that's it. So here we go. And this is a waltz time, by the way. I was a roamer on land and on sea, till a good woman's love made a new man out of me. Life had no meaning, it was all incomplete, till a good woman's love made a new man of me. Instead of roaming, I go home in the evening and she's waiting there. And I know that no matter what happens, she'll always care. And when the night falls and the moon shines above, I'm a man with a dream and a good woman's love. Hands are so sore, I don't know if I can pick this, but I'm going to try. Instead of roaming, I go home in the evening and she's waiting there. And I know that no matter what happens, she'll always care. And when the night falls and the moon shines above, I'm a man with a dream and a good woman's love. Good Woman's Love. It's a really nice song when you get the whole band wrapped around that one. It's a really fine tune. Used to get lots of requests for that tune. Don't do it hardly ever anymore. Let's see. This, by the way, I know we did have a request for Help Is On The Way, and we will get to it. That'll be the last tune tonight, just so you know. So you're not worried that I'm going to get to it. I definitely will. The third song is called Freeborn Man, and we're going to do this in the key of G. It's another tune that I rarely ever do. In fact, I don't know the last time I did it. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Seemed like it was about 10 or 12 years ago. Where this one I think is just 1-4-5. I don't think there's any other unusual chords in it. I was born in the Southland 70 some odd years ago. I ran away for the first time when I was 4 years old. I'm a freeborn man. My home is on my back. I know every inch of highway, every foot of back road, every mile of railroad track. I got a gal in Cincinnati, got a woman in San Antonio. Always loved the girl next door, any place is home, I'm a freeborn man. My home is on my back. I know every inch of highway, every foot of back road, every mile of railroad track. Well, I got me a Martin guitar, carried in an old tote sack. Oh, hocked it about 300 times, always got it back. I'm a freeborn man. My home is on my back. I know every inch of highway, every foot of back road, every mile of road track. Now you may not like my appearance, you may not like my song, you may not like the way I talk, but you like the way I'm born. I'm a freeborn man. My home is on my back. I know every inch of highway, every foot of back road, every mile of railroad track. I'm a freeborn man. My home is on my back. I know every inch of highway, every foot of back road, every mile of railroad track. Freeborn Man. We got 33 viewers at the moment. If you are enjoying these play-alongs and you want to support the cause, well, I'd appreciate it. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just saying if it's something you're getting benefit out of and you do want to help out, I'd appreciate it. You could do that with a super chat there with clicking on that $sign, or my preference is if you just send it through PayPal to my email address. My email address is rosastringworks@gmail.com. This next song, we used to do it quite often. I haven't done it in years. I used to do some impersonations. I'm not very good at it, but I used to do it and do it pretty well. A lot of people would say, boy, it sounds just like him, you know. But yeah, it's not so much anymore, and I haven't practiced it, so I'll try to do the very, very last verse in the impersonation of Hank Snow. This one is in A. I used to always do it in B, but I'm dropping everything down in key these days. So we're going to do this in A, and it's called A Fool Such As I. Now, this one has a extra chord or two in it. It's got, so it's going to, so we're doing it in A. So A is 1, and then you're going to have your 4, which is your D, and you're going to have your 5, which is your E. But there's also a 3 in this. So from your A, your 3 is 1 note or 1 fret flat of your 4. So there's your 3. Your 3 and your 4 are right next to each other. That's just one of the Nashville number system rules that I wrote if you bought my training. So 3 and 4 are right next to each other. They always are. So we're at 1. We're going to go to 3 and then to 4. And that's what I call the pretty chord because it just transitions so pretty. It just sounds really pretty in the song. So we got 1, 3, 4, and 5 in this song. I can't remember if there's a 2 or not. And if we do have a 2, of course, that would be your B. I just can't remember. I don't recall having one. But I'm going to give it a shot. Now, like I said, the first 3/4 of this, I'm just going to sing it in my normal crummy voice. And then I'll try to do a little bit of a Hank Snow sound. It's going to be kind of stupid, probably. But we'll give it a shot anyway. Pardon me if I'm sentimental when you say goodbye. Don't be angry with me should I cry. When you're gone, yet I'll dream a little dream of years go by. Now and then there's a fool such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. And you taught me how to love, and now you say that we are through. I'm a fool, but I'll love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. You taught me how to love, and now you say that we are through. I'm a fool, but I'll love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I. It was a whole lot easier 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. You can tell I don't care if I make a fool out of myself. Such a fool as I. Or fool such as I should have said. Anyway, I gave it a shot. I telling you seriously, my hands are so stiff. It's so hard to make them move. It just doesn't want to happen anymore. This is why I quit working on the instruments. I knew I was in for it. I could feel it coming, and I didn't want to tear somebody's instrument up by dropping a tool on it, or whatever. I thought it's better to quit while you're ahead. And that's what I did. Well, the next song is even worse in terms that I have to kind of pick it. It just don't hardly work without it. So I'll give it my best shot, and that's the best I can do. By the way, that song, of course, did have that 2 in it. I had forgotten that it did have the 2 in it, that A Fool Such As I. Let me just, while we're on that, let me show you something that's different about that song. Typically, when you go to the 2, you go to the 5. Well, in this case, you go to the 5, then you go to the 2, then you go back to the 5. So you go, you taught me. So there's your 5. You go, you taught me how to, and now you say that we are through. So you're going from that 1 to the 5, down to the 2, and then back to the 5. It's kind of different. I mean, there's a couple other songs I know of that do that, but it's a little different than the average. So I just thought I'd point that out. All right, Bringing Mary Home in the G of keys. Now this one is 1-4-5, but it does have a 2 in it for sure. And in fact, the kickoff goes to the C, to the 2, to the 5. That's basically the kick. I was driving down a lonely road on a dark and stormy night, when a little girl beside me showed up in my headlights. I stopped, she crawled in the back, and in a shaky tone, she said, "My name is Mary, please won't you take me home?" She must have been so frightened, alone there in the night. There was something strange about her, and her face was deathly white. She sat there pale and quiet in the backseat all alone. I never will forget that night I took Mary home. I pulled into the driveway where she told me to go. I got out to help her from the car, then I opened up the door. But I just could not believe my eyes, for the back seat was bare. And I looked all around the car, but Mary wasn't there. A light shone from the front porch, someone opened up the door. I asked about the little girl that I was searching for. The lady gently smiled as she brushed a tear away. And she said it sure was nice of you to go out of your way. But 13 years ago tonight, in a wreck just down the road, our darling Mary lost her life, and we miss her so. Thank you for your trouble and the kindness you have shown. You're the 13th one that's been here, bringing Mary home. A lot easier 20 years ago. Definitely, for sure. 100%. And our last tune for tonight, I used to do this in A, dropped it down to G, and it's called Help Is on the Way. And this is a Doyle Lawson song. I know it's got 145 for sure. It probably has a 2 in it, but I don't remember for sure. If it does have the 2, that's the A. I can't keep it all straight anymore. So we're playing it in G, and so G's 1, C's 4, D's 5. A woman in the Bible days, her last meal almost gone. God sent Elijah to make his word known. He said, woman, don't you worry, for God sent me today. Before you even ask him, help was on the way. So just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. Help won't help tomorrow if you give up today. So just hold on a little longer, because help is on the way. Troubles of this life come round and burdens get you down. You think no one is listening, and you think no one's around. Just remember what his word said. Trust him and obey. Keep your eyes toward the heavens, because help is on the way. So just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. Help won't help tomorrow if you give up today. So just hold on a little longer, because help is on the way. No, help won't help tomorrow if you give up today. So just hold on a little longer, because help is on the way. And I especially did that for Dottie, and if Kim's listening, you can have a little piece of it too, Kim. That's going to conclude the play along part right now. Let's go through the questions. Got 48 viewers at the moment, it looks like. And let's go through the comments here and see what's cooking. If you have a question or, want me to do something different or show you something specific, I'll give it the best shot I can. Feel free to put that in the comments. Joe Nigan says, hope everyone enjoys tonight. Well, I hope they did too. Ronald Todd, good evening, everyone, from the West Bank of New Jersey. Chris Sutton, hello, Jerry. How are you? Well, I was better, but I'm getting over it. I got something in my lungs and throat today when I was out there working in the area that we showed on the vlog today, pushing down all kinds of brush and trees, and the dust from that, the pollen or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't do me any favors. After we went live, it looks like John Dobrnick. I can't see it very well. Here, my eyes are fogging up on me. Jerry, give us your soloing theory. Say the song is in D. You're playing the first, fourth, and fifth D. How do you solo around that your way? Well, I do everything different than all the other mandolin players, and that's just a fact. I mean, it's just the way I do it. I taught myself to play out of chord positions, and really, it's hard to explain this that it makes any sense. I do pretty much the same thing in every key and every chord. It doesn't really matter because it's all based on the position. So, trying to think, do I play any songs out of D? Very few, really. And the few I do, I did that Bringing Mary Home, but that's not the way I normally play stuff. That one there, I kind of learned that particular break. That's not the way I normally play. So I can't really play that tune the way I normally play it, which is why I learned it that way. Because that's the traditional way to make it sound, is like that. But like I do everything with double notes for the most part. I can't even really play. That would be sled riding, but I don't normally play that out of the D position. I would play it out of G or A or whatever, but I run out of fretboard when I play it out of D the way I play. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm basically just using double stops. And those are the two double stops there. There's the two double stops there. You can see these two fingers aren't on. Honestly, it's the first time I've ever tried to play that song out of that position, so it's a little weird, awkward to do it that way. I would normally do that out of G, and it's really the same thing. It's all once you learn the double stops in one chord, you've pretty much got them in all the chords. So like I always try to teach everybody to learn it out of G or A or whatever, because that's your full four-finger chord. But you basically do the same thing no matter what chord you're playing, because they're all in the same basic shape. So like the double stops out of G, if I was playing that song out of G, the way I play it, I'm literally doing everything right where the chord is. So like I can tell you the names of the chords as I'm playing it because that's where I go to play the notes. So it's G, C, G, A minor, D, G, A minor, D, C. So that's just the way I do it. It's just the way I do everything. It's all basically double stops. And the reason I do that, and the next thing that every YouTuber commenter says is, you're limiting yourself. You're not playing it. I know that. It's just the way I do it. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. The point is, here's the reason I learned that way is just simply because of what my uncle said, and he didn't mean what he said the way he said it, but I took it literally. He said, it was the very first time he ever heard me play a mandolin, and I'd only been playing less than a month, and he walked up behind me and he goes, son, I didn't know you played a mandolin. How long you been playing that mandolin? And I said, I don't know, about a month, I guess. And he says, boy, I tell you what, for a month, you're doing really good. He says, but I can't hear you. You sound wimpy, and you need to learn how to play double notes. And he turned around and he walked off. I'm thinking, sound wimpy, can't hear me. And now I have to play double notes? Heck, single notes is hard enough. So the truth is, I just practiced for a whole year till I could play at least something that sounded like a lead in pretty much any song with double notes. And the only way I could get that to do that was to find the double notes out of the chords. Well, after I spent that much time learning it that way, I just kept doing it that way. And, when I went to that mandolin workshop, a lot of the guys were kind of impressed with that, to be honest with you. They all said the same thing. You're kind of limiting yourself. And I go, well, I know that, But Sam Bush thought it was cool enough that he literally got up out of his chair, walked right up to the front. I was playing in front of the mandolin workshop. There was about 40 guys in that workshop. And he walks right up to me. Literally has his nose a foot from my mandolin. He's going, I ain't never seen nobody do it like that before. Of course, back then I could actually play it. It's hard to even bend my fingers now, let alone show you exactly what I do, But that is the truth. It's all just double stops out of the chords. You can just find them. And once you find them in G, well, then now you've already got them in A, and you've already got them in all the other chords too. The only difference is the way I do it. You kind of run out of fingers when you do it. You don't have as many choices when you're doing it in C, D, and E. So I typically don't play. Well, I shouldn't say that. I found my ways around even the C, D, and E, but it's just it's hard to explain it. I don't know. I don't know if that helped you or just made it worse. But that's all I do is just play double notes, it's just. Double stops is what fiddle players call it, and it's really, that's all it is. So I'm playing harmony to myself all the time, but that increases your volume a lot, so you can really cut through in a jam. So people think I know what I'm doing whenever I'm in a jam playing. Like I get around some of those really good pickers, and when I take my break, they're going, whoa, because I come through with such power, It just is what it is. It's the best I can tell you. Let's see. Dottie Hildebrand. I've heard that song many times. Still love it. Not sure which one that was because we've gone past all that now. Let's see. Gino Hitch. How about Don't Worry About Me, Marty Robbins? Don't worry about me. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I know all the words. I'm not sure what key I'd do it in either. Don't worry about me. It's all over now. Though I may be blue, I'll manage somehow. Yeah, I don't know all the words. It can't be controlled. One day it's warm, the next day it's cold. Don't worry me, 'cause I'm feeling blue. I don't know the words. It's nothing to shame. It could happen to you. Oh, 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 sweet love, sweet baby, sweet, sweet baby, sweet. Oh, hurry now. Don't worry about me. That's all I could get out of it. I don't know that one. You know, I do know a number of his tunes, but I mean, I know of it, you know. I can sing along with it on the radio, no problem at all. But when you got to lead it and find the chords and do it live, it's a little more pressure. Let's see. But thanks for the request there, Gino. I tried. Bill Webb, good evening, Jerry. Howdy. You know, Hitch again. That mandolin sure has a pretty tone. The older they get, the better they sound. Yeah, I'm real happy with this mandolin. I know we called it the world's finest mandolin ever built by a human, and no, it's not. I just, basically that's clickbait for the video, But anyway, the point is, it is a good mandolin. I really like it a lot. I was offered $26,000 for this mandolin. Told you money don't mean nothing to me. I said, nope, I ain't gonna sell it. Anyway, Dottie Hildebrand, my donation is on PayPal. Thank you, Dottie. That's so kind of you. David Tharp, that's okay, Jerry. Every song I do demonstrates that I'm tone deaf. Can't carry a tune or play an instrument. Yeah, right. David, you're very, very, very good. Ronald Todd, in fact, David should be doing these play-alongs, not me. he really knows how to play, where I just kind of make noise and get a little louder to make you think I know how to play. That's basically my whole theory. When I teach my students, I just say, play louder. Every time you make a mistake, play louder. That way people think, well, surely he wouldn't play that loud if he didn't know what he was doing. All right, Ronald Todd, A for effort tonight, Jerry. Hank always had that nasal vocal sound. Yeah, when I'm practiced up on that, I actually can sound like him, but I haven't done that in years and years and years and years and years. It's probably been 15 years or longer, maybe a lot longer than that even, since I did that seriously. We used to do it on stage all the time, and, it would always get a big round of applause, and it was just a good tune when we knew it, but we don't, when you don't do them very often anymore, it makes a lot of difference. David Sutter, thanks so much for this play along on Thursday, Jerry. It helps with chord change. I guess it's supposed to be chord changes and learning way around the mandolin. Well, good. Bill Stahl, do you play the In the Pines? What key do you prefer? No, I don't do In the Pines. I've heard it, but I don't really know that one. The pines, in the pines, where the sun never shines, and I know the melody, but I don't know the words on that one. Sorry. I'd do it if I knew a little bit of it, but I don't even really know a little bit of it. I mean, I've heard it a lot. What exactly is a double note? Well, again, it's a double stop is really the preferred term, I think. It's where fiddles, you hear the fiddles play two notes at once, and they're using their bow going across two strings, holding two notes down, and that's called a double stop. And so I'm picking double stops is really what it amounts to. So you hear the two different notes? So those are the two notes in that. As opposed to, I don't even know if I can play that with single notes. So instead of single notes, it's double notes. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's what it is. And 100 Miles says, what's a double note? Well, hopefully that explained it. I hope it does. A double stop playing notes on two strings at the same time. That's exactly what I said because, and I didn't even know if I'm right on when I said it. So if CS 1177 says so, pay attention. Because I know nothing about formal music. I've said it before, and I don't mind telling you that I know nothing about formal music. Zero, none, not anything about it at all. Zero. Not even, I don't know anything about it. I mean, I heard the terms like a clef and a treble clef and a eighth note and stuff like that, but I don't know what you do with any of that. Michael Landreth. John Dobrnick, Jerry is playing thing like the third or fifth or 3/5. So key, double stops. Well, whatever he says, I'll just have to go with it because I don't know. And the truth is, I don't know. You might think I do, but I don't. I truly don't. David Tharp says, thumbs up, everybody. Eddie Turner says, I wish I could play as good as David. Yep. Yeah. I said, well, everybody does. David's really good. Hunter Miles, thanks for letting me know I only play guitar. Well, you're welcome. Gino Hitch, Jerry, thank you so much. You fit in with the Marty Robbins sound very good. I really enjoyed it. Well, you're welcome. Let me do a different Marty Robbins song that I do sort of know. I usually do this in E. I hope I can do it that high. I like this song. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought I'd ever lose your love, dear. Why'd you do me this way? I never felt more like crying all night, 'cause everything's wrong and nothing ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and the stars no longer shine. The dream is gone I thought was mine. There ain't nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away. I couldn't go, for I wouldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and the stars no longer shine. The dream is gone that I thought was mine. There ain't nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away. I couldn't go, for I wouldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. Without you, you got me singing the blues. Singing the blues. That's a good old tune by Marty Robbins. Ben Boyd, if I got to Mountain View again, will you play my mandolin once and give me your honest opinion? I would absolutely do that. No problem at all. I'd like to know if it sucks canal water or if it's just me. Well, Ben, a lot of it's how they're set up. And I'll just tell you what it needs, or and if there's something minor that I can adjust and do right there on the spot, I'll do it. But no problem at all. I'll be glad to do that. There's Kim Williford. Hey everyone, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to take care of some business. Well, Kim, I mentioned your name and I said you can have a piece of that song too, because Dottie had asked for Help Is on the Way, and so after I played that, I said, well, Kim can have a piece of that also. Terry Beeson, did I ever play or jam with any of the Dillards? Not exactly, no. I met the mandolin player, can't think of his name. I didn't play with him, though, I don't think. I met and played with the bass player's wife, and you know me and names. I know his name, I just can't call it up right at the moment. But anyway, I played with the bass player's wife a couple of different times. I jammed with her, but he was already passed away, and so it was his widow, actually. But anyway, I never did actually meet him. You would think I would have, as much as I get around in Bluegrass in Missouri, but I only met the mandolin player one time. Let's see. David Tharp, do that Marty Robbins tune, From Where I Stand. From Where I Stand is a tune I wrote that I thought about sending to Marty Robbins, but it took me 30 years to finish it, so he was already dead. I do this in C. C, F, and G, and there is a 2, which is your D chord. From where I stand, I can see all the lights of the city. For one man to love one woman so much it's a pity. From where I stand, I can see the cantina she goes to, where she's not supposed to, but goes anyway. From where I stand, I can hear the music and laughter. Camilla tells me that's what her young heart is after. But I see it differently. I see her there with a man. Camilla is lying, I see, from where I stand. From where I stand, I can see the smiles on their faces. The music plays on as I watch their tender embraces. From where I stand, I can see her dress as it's swaying, and seems to be waving goodbye to me. From where I stand, I can hear the music and laughter. Camilla tells me that's what her young heart is after. But I see it differently. I see her there with a man. Camilla is lying, I see it from where I stand. Camilla is lying, I see it from where I stand. It's really a lot easier with a bass. It really is hard to do this with just a mandolin without a bass. That really makes a lot of difference. If you're not a player, you wouldn't understand that. So I did that. Let's see. Okay, moving on. Kim Wilfer says, thank you. John Darnick says, thanks, Jerry. You play great. Well, thank you. And not really, but thank you. Kim Weatherford, yay. Gary Hayes, West Virginia. I love that song. Also, David from Where I Stand. Great song. Well, thank you, guys. Terry Beeson, there's a story about a guy who handed Bill Monroe his mandolin and said, Bill, take a look at this thing and tell me what's wrong with it. Bill played it a fast 15 seconds. And I remember what he said. He said, ain't nothing wrong with this mandolin. Meaning that it was the guy that it was at fault, not the mandolin. I don't know the whole story. I can't remember the whole story, but yeah, I've heard that story, and he made it very clear there wasn't nothing wrong with the mandolin. There was something wrong with the guy playing it. Mitch Jane, yep, that was the name of the bass player, yep, and that was his wife or his widow that I was playing with, and I can't remember her name. It was 15 years ago. Played with her 2 or 3 different times. Ran into each other, you know. Let's see, Terry Beeson handed it back and said, well, it ain't the mandolin. Yeah, there you go. Ben Boyd, do I need... That's Bill Monroe, man. He was as blunt as they come. And of course, my uncle was kind of like that too, you know. That's what he said. Well, he said, man, you're doing really good, you know, but I can't hear you. You sound wimpy and you need to learn how to play double notes. Turn around and walked off, just like Bill Monroe would have done. In fact, Don and Bill were good friends, and Bill would always call Don up on stage whenever they were anywhere together. Vine-covered church, please. Well... we still got less than an hour here, so why not? I do this in A. This is a song I wrote about a little church that was along the Highway 67, or whichever one goes south through Farmington. I can't remember the name of the number of the highway. But anyway, when you hear the description of how to find this song in the words here, it's really talking about how to find this one-room schoolhouse, because I tried to write the song about a one-room schoolhouse for like 6 months. And every time I would try to write the song about the one-room schoolhouse, this little church came into mind. So I just changed everything to make it a theme about the little vine-covered church. But the description of how to find it is actually how to find the little one-room schoolhouse. So just so you understand that even though this was along the highway and I only got one glimpse of this little vine-covered church, it really burned an image in my brain. And in fact, that picture right there is the little vine-covered church. It's covered in snow in that picture, but... I do it in A, and I think, I'm pretty sure this has got a 2-chord in it, so that'd be your B. I think it does. I just don't remember. The truth is, I just don't remember. You won't find it on a well-traveled highway. It's not even on a dusty gravel road. And you have to want to be there when you find it, 'cause it's not on any maps I know. Out across the field through the pasture, you climb along a steep and rocky trail. And when you cross that little creek in the valley, you'll see that vine-covered church on the hill. That vine-covered church above the valley, where the congregation gathered to pray. Built with their hands from the forest, now stands as a marker for the grave. The siding and shingles are tattered, the steeple leans slightly to the right, and though all the windows are shattered, you can still hear them singing at night. The brothers and sisters who worship, they gather in this holy place still, though they lie at rest in the valley, beneath that vine-covered church on the hill. That vine-covered church above the valley, where the congregation gathered to pray, built with their hands from the forest, now stands as a marker for the grave. It still stands as a marker for the grave. And I know most of you have heard this because there are always somebody new out there. I tell the story that the very, very first time we ever played the song live to anybody, it took me quite a while to get the band used to that song because it changes chords a little different than the average, and it took a while for them to get comfortable with it, you know. So it was a while before we played it. And the very first time we played it, we just happened to be right down there where the little church was from. We were in the Farmington auction barn. It didn't plan it that way, it just worked out that way. So I said, well, this is the place to debut the song for sure. So I told the story about how I wrote it and what I saw and all that stuff, you know. Well, anyway, we played the song, and when we got off stage, a man came up to me and grabbed me and he says, son, he says, I love your song about the little vine-covered church, but do you know you have to change the words to your song? And that's a really weird thing to say to a songwriter. You know, you go, well, why would I need to change the words? He goes, you don't know? And I said, I don't know what? He says, well, they just tore that church down yesterday. That really did send chills through my body because it took me 6 months to write that song. It took me a month or two to get the band up to speed on it. And the very first time we played it, it was tore down the day before we played it. And I didn't know any of that. It was just bizarre. It was just bizarre. It was just as if that song was meant to keep that little church alive. And the other little bit of, well, there's two other things. One is that every single time we played that song, the first year that we played it, every single time, and I'm not kidding you, even in Dodge City, Kansas, somebody came up to me and told me a story about that church. Every single time we played it for the first whole year, even including in Illinois, Arkansas, every place we played it. It was crazy. Iowa, I remember in Iowa too. Somebody had some, and one of the stories that was most memorable was, I bet you didn't know this about that little church. And I said, what? And they said, they played bluegrass music in that church. And I went, wow, I did not know that. He says, my grandfather played bluegrass music in that church. And I went, doggone, isn't that song? It's pretty crazy, you know, when you think about it, to have all that happen. And then the last thing that I wanted to tell you is that the Witcher brothers, which hit the charts for a while back in the, I think, early 90s, maybe mid-90s. I can't remember now when it was. But anyway, it was in the 90s. The Witcher brothers out of California recorded that song, and they made it to the chart with it. And, you know, I did get some royalties off of it, but, you know, I think the biggest check I ever got was like $75 or $76. I can't remember what it was, but something like that. I didn't quit my day job. Let's see. Okay, Ben Boyd, I have a feeling that that's the case with me, Terry. Well, I won't say it like that. Let's just say it that way, Ben. I'll try to break it a little easier. Yeah, CS 17 or 1177 says, I heard he said fixed it. No, I heard it the other way. I heard that he said, it ain't the mandolin. That's how he said it. That's the way I've always heard the story. My uncle knew him really well, and my uncle used to tell all these stories on him all the time, you know. There's another one about ham, you know, and that's the one that Ricky Skaggs wrote the song. I think Ricky wrote it. I'm not sure if it was Ricky, but it was one of those guys like that wrote the song that you can't hurt ham, because Bill Monroe, he was looking for something to eat or something, and somebody said, well, we got this ham, but it's 2 days old or something like that. And he goes, oh, hey, I'll eat it. He says, you can't hurt ham. Anyway, Bill was a strange kind of fella. He really was. Did you have you all heard the stories about, and this is black and white fact. In fact, I've seen it on video, where one of the things he would do often, and I don't know that he did it in his later years, but he did it when he was pretty old. He would carry his whole band at one time, pick them all up at once and carry them. He did it all the time. I don't remember how he did it now exactly. They had a way of holding on to him, like put their arms around his neck, and he'd hold on. He'd put his arms out like this, and he'd carry the whole band and walk with them. I saw a video of him doing it. I just can't remember exactly how he did it now. It was a long time ago. Thank you for playing. Help is on the way. You're welcome. Dottie, that was Dottie. Let's see. Dottie says, Ben, I was wanting Jerry to take a look at my mandolin, but that's a no. But that's a no. I'd be happy to look at it. Let's see. Thanks, Jerry, for tonight. I hope your hands won't hurt too much tonight. Yeah, they just don't feel. It's not so much that they hurt so much anymore. I mean, it just depends on the moment. Sometimes they really do hurt a lot, but they're really stiff, really hard to get them to bend. And when they bend, then they hurt, So it's just more stiff than it is pain. Thank you for playing. Help is on the way. Even though I missed it, I thank you for playing Vine Covered Church. I love the song and the story behind it. Well, thank you. Steve Mays, you do Mr. Teardrop proud. Mr. Teardrop. I'm trying to think of that. It must be Marty Robbins, I guess, but yeah. I know a song he did something about Teardrop, but I don't know that one. Kim Williford, you were meant to write that song, Jerry. It's very special, keeping the memory of that little vine-covered church. Yeah, I think it was absolutely meant to be, because, like I said, I had never experienced that before, never have since or before. Every single time I would sit down to write about that little one-room schoolhouse. It was a little German one-room schoolhouse. Every time I'd try to write a line on that church would just block my brain. I mean, I couldn't get the church out of my mind. And I'm not making that up. I mean, that's why it took me 6 months. I've never spent that much time writing a song. Well, other than From Where I Stand, which is but that one I didn't work on it constantly. I worked on it and completely forgot that I even had started it. And then 30 years later, I finished it. That's a different kind of problem. But I've never experienced where every single time I tried to write something else would block me trying to write it, and it did every time. It was nuts. And I finally said, well, I guess God is saying, you need to write this song about this church. And so I did, and it was all over within a few minutes. Didn't take no time. Anyway, let's see, moving on down. Terry Beeson, that's how Bobby Osborne told the story. Okay, yeah, I don't doubt it. I met Bobby and Sonny Osborne too. Don introduced me to them. My uncle he knew those guys real well. In fact, they played at his all those guys played at his festival, Don's festival. Don had a huge festival down in Grassy, Missouri. He started the Grassy, Missouri festivals back in, I don't know, it was I would say late 60s, early 70s is when he started those festivals. And he might have started in the mid 60s, I don't know. But I started going to them in 72 or 3. And they were huge. I mean, like nothing like the later Grassy festivals. They were so huge that you couldn't find a place to park, even out in those big fields. It was wall-to-wall people. You were walking down the road through the place sideways. It was amazing. They were huge festivals, and I haven't seen a festival like that anywhere. Of course, I don't go out east where they have those big ones, or out in California where they have the big ones, or the Colorado one where they have those big ones. I've never seen a festival like that in Missouri, though. Not even close to what he had back then. Let's see. Dottie Hildebrand, Jerry, hope your hands feel better sooner than later. Me too. Thank you. Terry Beeson, can you play Rawhide? Yeah, well, not as good as I used to, and not even that I can play it. My first band that I struck out on my own, I called it Rawhide. And of course, that means we played that tune. I probably better not. I really just can't make my fingers move. Plus, I haven't done that one in years, so I don't hardly remember it. Nah, I can't remember how it even goes right now. Sorry. I would do it. Maybe I'll try to practice it. Maybe try to get back up to speed on it for maybe next Thursday night if you want to hear it. So if you do, remind me next Thursday night, and I'll give it a shot, hopefully, if I can remember to practice it. Thanks, guys. We're over an hour, so thank you all for being here. I appreciate your support. Thanks for just being nice. I appreciate that. 68 viewers. We will see you tomorrow on the vlog, and I'll show you the progress we made today, and it was quite some progress. See you then.